Greetings today from the Austin Diaries. Today I am going to discuss the variations of interpretation of speaking various dialects. And then there are various dimensions of dialects of languages pertaining to relativity and relevance and various values, regardless of the notoriety, validation of the sacred almighty electric grid. Seems to be what everybody worships. And then you've got variable contests of interpretation deemed competition or the ability to argue a case, rebuttals at my expense. And it is costly. We're dealing with tons of assets being usurped in various manners and methods as far as, but the inability to properly manage an estate. It's like a balance sheet full of assets that I'm not allowed, it's in my name, but I am not allowed to defend. Yet, because I am forced to defend the game I am stuck in is this extreme, it's empathetic, lympathetic hardball to justify. That's the notation of the BLM and of the hardball, is whereas I'm a banker trying to manage this balance sheet, this financial statement of estate assets, this estate. Yet, I am forced empathetic in order to try and defend by being locked in this empathetic dungeon of how hard it is to actually, but instead they've knocked out the walls, and anybody that wants goes and attacks they produce a bunch of cash, then they attack the assets, they seize them, they rebrand them, they reconstitute them, and then they put them in their balance sheets, where there's a depletion from the balance sheet, but there's no payment made. And it is deemed free enterprise or freedom or whatever, but there is absolutely, there's no compensation made at all for any sort of disturbance or transition. There's no payment made at all. It would be like, yeah, my entire estate balance sheet, fire sale, Sanford salvage, yard sale, because I am forced to be empathetic to the hardball games of like a ball. It's hard to pick a safe ball. You go into a bank, it's really difficult to pick a vault. It's supposed to be lox and bagels for me today, right? Healthy lox and bagels. So I've got to be empathetic by there is no vault right now. It's wide open territory, open city, super land grab. And so my conflict is and there is a literal gun to my head. My entire life has been staged in order to inflict guns to my head, threats or wells or wounds that are distributing shares in my bodily estate. Well, it's sort of like, it's okay, we use NASCAR and Sunoco. NASCAR was derived from bootleggers. The problem is, that's what's going on. You've got a bunch of bootleggers and freeloaders who do not pay their bill. And they are burnt to a crisp, like MaliBOOOTAY. They have money. Same thing with the wealthy. The wealthy have tons of money, but they refuse to pay their bills. They would rather gamble, literally gamble huge chunks of, just gambling their future, and they're gambling their kids' trust funds, they're gambling their lives for this party, dance, revolution. I just happen to be the sore feet in the Christian Louboutin factory that they do not pay for. And they are trying to pay them, but it's intercepted. That's called the game, a hardball, empathetic game. They're trying to validate my existence so I can then therefore protect the system because it has global implications, even though I am not allowed to because of the coerced, tortured, dungeon, hypnotized, brainwashed. They're forcing me to escape, which and the mob thinks they're going to get away with it this way by forcing me to escape. It is they're trying, and because I was blacklisted, they're trying to make me enemy combatant for trying to manage my estate because it's a global assets. Then therefore, what it's the same thing is they're trying to make me hate myself for having global reach because they're envious of my global reach, and so they have to take that away from me because they are crazy. Whereas or they're trying to alienate me from corporations, as you would. The problem is, it's like you've got these A&M is a balance, like the law, math, balance sheet, agriculture mechanization, machinery, the transformers. The problem is the A is under M control. Same thing as the bears and the bulls, the bank and the accounts. The accounts are a machine. When they work together, that is a pool, a machine pool. Then that's the same precedence. The problem is the bank is being managed under the logic of the mechanization theory. Therefore, it is it's mutating the logic. It's just then you've got it's a lose-lose Steve wins society of plastic chips. So you've got these sacred plastic chips that are then converted. So then that's therefore a loophole into the fencing, hot property, or hot wiring, chop shop, that sort of mentality. So yeah, you've got these transformers. They have no competition. And it's like strip mining, like the Dukes of Hazzard was all the movie filmed in Baton Rouge. The General Lee was about how Boss Hogg wanted to strip mine. And that's what they are doing by allowing the land to be the A side of it to be under false control. Then therefore it's under machine control, mechanized control. Therefore, the logic, it's like having a trader in your midst, and they're basically opening the back doors so people can come in and loot the assets. Same thing with me, it would be empathetic to the hardball plight of a bank job. Yeah, they're forcing me to be empathetic to the hardball plight of cracking a safe by not allowing me to build a safe or a castle or a wall. And then they're trying to justify, and then they're torturing me empathetically to any of their plight in the future. So therefore, I will be pro bono, you too, defend them in the future, that sort of thing. And they screwed me there and proved they are smarter and faster. So you've got this. So the corporations have no competition because they kill. We're based upon the English language, which is an aristocracy system. The problem is the United States worships the pound accumulation side of it, the land, but they do not have it. There are no. All you've got are a bunch of these big, overgrown feedlots, subdivisions, big mansions. There are no manor houses. There are no castles. It's just individual wealth, the Indian. So you basically chopped off all of the F1 in order to supersize some growth hormones, the IndyCar, and then they're proud because they think they killed the big dog, or they killed off the poachers. They killed the lions and tigers and bears, and they're wearing their skins around for pride. And so therefore it gives them this false sense of reality, when in actuality they're not properly managing the estate. So yes, the corporations have no competition, so they're just decimating. The entire countryside is wiped out, decimated, strip mined, gummy bears, based upon the sugar bowl, and they don't pay for their sugar. That's the problem. If they paid for their sugar, they're paying fraud. They're paying frauds who are sabotaging the balance sheet. It's insider trading sabotage, really. So they're paying a bunch of frauds for the sugar. They do not pay for the sugar. And it's all this party mentality. They're a bunch of rum runner, bootlegger, freeloaders. That's all they are. Really, in reality, if you speak proper English, that's why they have the attack of the code validation versus English language. Because code produces all this wealth. They don't care about English language anymore. Leave the damn country, but they won't. I warned them. I said, if you want to play on this, they're playing the lose-lose-win scenario, double dipping. Leave the country. Go to another country that the language is not suited for accumulation. The United Kingdom is an island based upon the pound. That's a bad precedent for the United States. Yet there is no talk of this. Nobody discusses, well, maybe we've got a little bit of bad logic here, and it won't fix anything. So yeah, key dawning times. And you've got the herd attack, the swarm. So they really hate bears. And I think it's revenge. They consider it's revenge, I guess, for all the wars. They're really a bunch of flower power hippies. They don't want to fight. They want to party. Party, party, party. And they want the bears to pay for the hangover, and they want the bears to pay for the liquor, the drugs, and the whore. Hookers, excuse me, the cat house, the flower power. Go pick you a daisy cat house, and nobody pays for it because it is energy that is then distributed and it's not accounted for. Flower power, you can go pick anything you want. You don't pay a cent for it. That's the problem, and it's FLOUR. Flower, wheat, magic superpower. If they didn't value, it wouldn't be as big of a problem. But they keep overestimating, overvaluing, and expanding valuation. There's big bubbles in there because you've got a bunch of sawdust filler. So yeah, at the key dawning technological time, they made me a bench warmer. And the motive in that is revenge, deemed empathetic revenge for all of the past indiscretion of Billets, because they think of China as a bear, and then the Vietnam War as a bear, the Korean War, all this love, or Russia as a bear. They don't think of the United Kingdom. Well, that's where they just wipe out, kill all lions and tigers and bears and put in your animal farm. Problem is they will not speak. They refuse to talk. I guess that's because of the United Kingdom, and they are. So that's another thing. Is my entire life has been wasted to try to teach me stupid lessons that could take 30 minutes in a civilized structure, but instead it's the you bet your life, Groucho Marx charades game, and I have to figure it out, and I have to be able to see. They're trying to we're talking, and it's a scholarship, giving away scholarships, more and more scholarships, free paid, because I'm not smart enough as revenge that they love the voter revenge for this. They're going to use it against me as revenge for the game that they are addicted to. So they make me addicted to the dungeon game of empathetic, of cracking a safe, knocking over a casino. And then they bribe the casinos with world domination. Whereas all I'm looking for is a little bit of balance. They don't want it. They're used to the ease. It's easy. You can walk in and do whatever you want right now. It's bad long-term logic, and it could really, the risk management factor could really boomerang horrifically in the very, very near future. So the dawning technological times could boomerang as a total alienation. Smart logic would be put a cap on global expansion for 10 years. To be honest, that'd be a smart policy in order to grow the roots as you would, to allow the structure to build back up. Fill in those. So they've taken setup, especially in the old world cultures, where they've had centuries of sedimentary development, and they've strip mined it. They've strip mined it as jewels. Old sediment is deemed jewels, so they just, and the representational value of a diamond is strip mined. pot. And so there's all this representational value of mining that's in strip mining, and it's leaving these big pits and these big lava fields that are then metamorphic swarms like the mob. You know, that's why there's A&M. You've got M&M, M&M Mars, Mars Attacks. Yeah. My so-called life, Lords of War. Yeah. So if you've got just M&M, then you've got, it's just lava. So anything, they can form any structure they need to. But it does not have any foundation, and it is terrible, terrible logic. And the problem is there's no real law. There's no law at all. You can buy anything. And accumulating cash has no real basis. And they're teaching me that lesson too, how hard it is without cash. Empathetic, their future lives, I guess. In case they fail, they wanted to try to teach lessons or something. So yeah, then I've got to be reliant on the expansion, limpathetic. I limp around, reliant, because I can't manage the land, and then I've got to be, they've got to make me worship sacred, any individual. Another reason why I was castrated, spayed and neutered, Price is Right, Bob Barker, Happy Gilmore, the Barry Williams Show for Shooter McGavin, Chris McDonald, Peter Gabriel video, lesson there. That they use as validation. It's the war of the signs. And my validation, they have to counteract my validation with using the validation to try to cloud it out or that's their balance. Whereas in actuality, it's like shooting out cop sirens. Those are sirens. Shoot it out for a balance. You know, hey, we don't believe in that sort of law. Let's go bribe some politician to attack. Let's have an anarchy revolution. So, yeah, so I can't even worship the land because of less miles. I got to walk. I'm stuck in my little bubble here under the dome. So I've got to worship, and then I'm ignored. I'm jumping around a lot. So I know we've gone to grandiose, massive estate to my individual, selfish nature, as you would. So, yeah, I have to then worship every sacred individual because I am trying to escape and I need help because I am poor. I can't pay for people. Cat house, empathetic revenge for the flow of power of people's revolution. Ground Henry Hill's Cocoa Bush. So yeah, I've got to worship every sacred individual because I'm castrated. There we go once again, every sacred penny because I can't afford to hire people. I'm not allowed. I've got to be handicapped so low that I can't actually hire people to help me because I've got to be empathetic. So then I can't travel outside of the land. So I've got to. I can't appreciate that. Another reason why they stick me in. It's beyond psychotic. And then it's kidnapper created mental distress that they are trying to permanent marks and play branding permanent marks. Yep. So they got a brand me to prove how special they really is. They want an upgrade on their hooch. Stronger dose of dope. Yeah. And they ain't gonna pay nothing. Sunoco. We're gonna race for it. You slow, so we win and we keep it free. That's Japan's rule. Crazy. Dragon. It really is. White Zombie was right. Rob Zombie, Captain Spaulding. It is going to be a nightmare. It's not there yet. They're starting to see it. National Guard canceled Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s. They've got to realize they are really, really messed up. They are way, way out of their mind. But they're stuck in their little bitty circle playing in the sandbox, but they are losing big time. And they are proud and they refuse to steer. It's like Ole Miss. Never once steered. They wanted to play these charade signs. They're going to reel me in, you know. I mean, just stupid. When I are summoned or conjure their mental powers, they're going to tractor beam, you know, and vital, critical. I mean, literally betting their family's future. But Jesus is going to save them. That's why Almighty God, the corporation Transformers, are loving it. Keep getting bigger, and they're strip mining good old Boss Hog, Porky's Cat House on me, free hooch, Crown Liquor, every man a king, give it on. Crazy. Prove that one wrong. You know, I mean, there are limits to every sort of thing. And since I was let out and led astray and never taught anything because I couldn't read the signs because they had to teach me the alien mental power M&M Mars. Speak like an alien. Because I don't know. Just, they wanted the party buffet is all I can figure. They wanted to get fatter even though it could kill them. Literally. Very, very dangerous toxic acid. So yeah. Be aware of the sheriff enforcement in has a stroke on there. The lip, it's the arm I wear a ring on because my set doesn't pray to Almighty God, M&M Mars, the scars from Dr. Whodad, Master God of the world, the Mad Caldwell, Magic Black Cauldron, Voodoo Community Chess. So anything that mine is shared through, that's why they worship the kid. The Voodoo Black Cauldron. That they compile all the voodoo, then they play then it's competitive. Who gets the most voodoo wizard power, I guess. Doesn't make any sense. Crazy. Stupid to gamble that much. Rather build a bridge. So the epic looted, they will not speak. Burnt to a crisp, Sunoco. Malibootay burnt. Lost their mind. Heat stroke. Don't real dehydration. I don't know. They drink too much alcohol. It creates dehydration. It doesn't really make any sense. So they make me empathetic. I'm dehydrated. I'm starved, malnutrition. And I hate to joke about this because I know there's lots of people. That's another side effect is they're trying to make me look like just a horrible person by complaining. Well, it's a terrible, terrible world, but in actuality, my state is paying huge. So yeah, my matrix body is dying of hunger. It is out of fuel. It is dehydrated and suffering. And it's all because, like, that sip I took, they figure it out. There's a mathematical dungeon master equation to the shares of that sip. Everybody food is a competition. That's the empathetic to how hard it is. Hey, I'm sorry. I could have helped. I was supposed to be the balance in the force. We're supposed to build a bridge, but they burnt me too long, left me out there. The Playboy hunters are burnt to a crisp, scalded. Did about the death in the afternoon, speared and scalded. I was. They dragged me around and they speared me. They really did. They were shooting me and spearing me they thought it was capping a web. You know, they had found this motherload of raw energy or raw value. So they were going to justify it anyway. So I got dragged around in this dungeon, Rube Goldberg mousetrap game. And they were spirit hacking, and I did not understand because I didn't read the signs real good. I didn't put much, I figured communication skills, ill communication beats the boys, license to ill, sabotage. So yeah, I was capping a well. So they're trying to keep me buried, which is basically burying the body deep. And then they got all these wires that are these they basically bleed me dry from down there. So every bite of food I go powers, my body has turned against me. And I don't want to make fun of disease. I was watching Stephen Hawking, but it's very similar to that. My body does not work. So the parasites have revolted. They chopped off the head, and the parasites in my body have formed an anarchy revolution. And this has been going on. They actually did this before I was born. I have an inclination. So yeah, my body then works against me. So every food always poisons me because they are rebellious parasites because they are proud, which is crazy stupid because they are losing so much touch ground at a vital, vital time. So yeah, every sip will hydrate somebody else in lieu of Lou. I laugh out loud. Our Lady of the Lake or something like that. So yeah, every sip or every bite fuels or powers somebody else. So, and I'm just a hollow shell factory. It's a trophy. Taxidermy got ever instead of me because of the poachers. Lions and tigers and bears, poachers. So yeah, they can't talk. Oh, Burning Man, Burning Time, Wasted Fire Water Scout. So yeah, everything burns me. It's always the adversity effect affliction because I am unable to escape this bubble dome. There's no good Samaritan. The good Samaritan, I have a godson named Sam. And that will be a huge, huge nightmare, horrific nightmare lesson. Because, Sambo's, the founder of Sambo's was the original owner of the New Orleans Jazz, who then moved the Jazz to Utah. And then I got massacred because of New Orleans Jazz. I got massacred for several things. I paid for Robert Young's beauty shop in Benson. And then the Jazz leaving, I got massacred for. Rather than taking it as a lesson, they did not. Same thing that the Thrashers leaving on Winnipeg, Atlanta did not take it as a lesson. They were brave and they charged. And that's why Dale Earnhardt Jr. lost the National Guard sponsorship because they are crazy. Just out of their fucking mind. They do not pay their bills, first of all. A bunch of fucking poser freeloaders. I'm not talking about. I'm talking about his legion of fans there that are keeping me in my bubble here as Reverend. And so they do not pay their bills. They think I'm their magic Marlboro man that gets burnt. I get the cancer, they get the nicotine fun patch. It's crazy, stupid logic at vital, critical times. Cat got my tongue though. Oh, the Monopoly revenge. So Ma Bell, I got revenge for that. Cat got my tongue. And then the Georgia Pacific Monopoly got revenge for that with Louisiana Pacific Titans. So yeah, not only am I, because the cat got my tongue, I am chopped down because I can't speak. Timber! Crazy. Crazy stuff. And they're being adjustable. Oh, yeah, I am. Works in the center, keep in the public fair. Yeah, it's always there. Once again, me being the puppet, Muppet, Kermit the Frog, dissected for classroom, public school lunches. They're eating fancy frog leg buffet. What was that movie? E.T. when he freed all the frogs. Good old Dr. Who that. So yeah, being adjustable, I should be able to be adjustable. I studied various niches of society. I studied all sorts of music. I studied all sorts of art. I studied culture. I studied business. I studied politics. I studied every science, physics, but I am not able to utilize my skills and my lessons because I have been handicapped. I am forced to be small, and that is out of my league. So they have to make me pay for trying to be uppity. It's like I'm a slave. If I was trying to be that's an uppity slave. We don't want no educated slaves there. That's an uppity. You might escape. And then when I do escape and they're going to beat me like a runaway. Yeah, I'm paying for trying to escape. They're going to teach me reel in like a marlin, hang on their wall, praise Almighty Jesus. Airbus. Yeah, they'll have to shoot down those passenger jets here at Duck Dynasty. We don't believe, we're atheists, we don't believe in Airbus. That there is the devil. That is the devil, Airbus. Kill him. Shoot him down. Costa Concordia, torpedo that motherfucker. Literally, that's what's going on. They are torpedoing civilian passenger planes. They're torpedoing civilian passenger cruise ships, calling it they're that freaked out. They're that messed up in the head. So yeah, there was this bomb strategy where I was trying to be educated enough to be able to manage a vast, various global state with and be able to earn respect. But the kidnappers that want to steal my identity and steal my wallet and steal home scammers, they've got to desecrate me. So that's one of the motives for the long term. They're going to desecrate me and put replacements in lieu of lieu. They're going to put in some replacements who then do a better job than me because I'm a generalist. They put in these specialists. I'm sure they are better than me or they're different. There's certain things I'm good at. And if I'm good at something, they will I've got the worst writer's block in the world. I mean, it's literally beat me up and keep me tortured. I mean, I get no muses. I get no inspiration. I get no editors. I get no one to talk to about get any feedback. They literally handicap me to handicap me in order to try to keep me at a low level because they're God Almighty, praise Almighty. Jacob Valero, iHeartRadio organ theft is this handicap and rank scheme because they are hooked on the dope something fierce. I mean, they are serious. Requiem for a Dream, M&M Mars, my so-called live bait and switch posers. So yeah, they handicapped me. So I was good, better than average at writing. So they have to beat me and make me pay for trying. Keep me in the fairway and the public golf course and the beat me, be the ball Spalding and the Caddyshack, handicap me down. So yeah, they will not. They are in my entire life not allowed to manage the estate, so they can loot and pillage all the assets. Praise Almighty, M&M Mars, Transformers. So there's no balance at all. So yeah, they are burnt to a crisp Malibootay. So yeah, I was always trying to understand. I was trying to be just slightly empathetic, but then in order to make me really pay the max, because they hate me so fucking bad trying to escape. They are free peoples, free peoples. People's revolution, anarchy rule. Johnny Rotten, Sid Vicious. So yeah, the Malibootay, they gotta make me extreme empathetic to the worst max. So yeah, then they have to. That's probably why I am forced to go to J.C. Lewis Public Health, is to be extreme because I got uppity. I got out of my caste. The system is creator God Almighty, praise Almighty, machine gods. That's because the kidnappers, the M&M Mars kidnappers, are allowed to. There's no balance. There's no law. You got a bunch of money laundering for the most part. Bank robbery, money laundering, Thelma and Louise. So yeah, they're killing James Bond. They hate the Bears. The Bond sweat lodge. Sweating off the pounds. Richard Simmons beauty rest revenge. Beauty shop. They're going to use their slave to the max. They're going to get their money worth out of their slave. Prove they are SEC smart. So yeah, me trying to understand to a degree, they take it further. Further fast. We're going to scalp that motherfucker to death. Scalp him and skin him to ball bear. No, and just in that, and that's being the ball playing. They get their rebuttal chance to beat the kidnapper boy to death because they do not want to pay a thing. It's not their estate. They do not care. They're not family. This is a crock. This is a sham. Kidnappers, stolen wallet, laundering, fencing the stolen goods. The only way they can keep the stolen wallet active is to keep a hostage. That's why I'm here, to keep the stolen wallet active. That's the only reason I am a hostage. Stolen wallet. If I could cancel the it's like I got a big old like Louis Winthorpe in Trading Places. I've got a big fat wallet of credit. It's real good money too, double H. St. Louis, King of France. So then they take that, and then they have to, in order, so I cannot build a wall. We got to be empathetic to their hardball plight. I can be pro bono and defend them by trying to escape. That's how smart these SEC boys really are. Their Sunoco burnt to a crisp bacon fuel. We're gonna drive that car. We're gonna drive that stolen Ferrari on lard. We'll clock that gas tank up. That means there's a limit. We don't have to pay for it. We get the real. We get the real warranty. It really is like Ferris Bueller. They got the parking attendants taking the Ferrari out for a joyride. I'm stuck in the trunk. Keep that expense account flowing. So yeah, any niche I try to understand a slight degree of empathetic, to be cool, to be respected. They have to massacre, desecrate, destroy, because that is competition to the frauds who have stolen my wallet. So yeah, I get beat. They make me extremely, the worst case scenario, Omegas, empathetic, J.C. Lewis Public Health, which is really just gonna, it's a murder. That is literally going to just kill me in this communal pool asset, because it is like throwing me into a toxic vat of infectious disease. As far as I gotta be empathetic, I gotta respect the life debt of the kidnapper's scam. Yeah, the kidnapper created mental distress to respect those that are my masters. So yeah, full contact rider's block. I can't afford paints. I would like to, I painted and drew for years. Can't afford that. 5 seconds, poison item, 5 seconds. I bought a pen. If I ever drop this pen, it is permanently cursed. I've got to cherish. It's like the egg bowl. That's the Ole Miss joke. And the egg bowl, the Bulldog Ole Miss Rebel joke. Civil War, mental bipolar crazy. To protect and cherish every sacred thing, item. It's a lesson I'm paying billions in scholarships for. So if this pen ever hits the floor, it is then therefore in my possession, permanently marked, scarred. Praise Almighty God, the scars, Dr. Who Dat. It is permanently marked. It is then at this lower level. So I am then therefore my entire body, because I am the weakest piece of fucking worthless in the world, is then therefore poisoned to this lower level. So yeah, you got the cursed pin. But then when I give it away, it gets this huge magic power. So whoever gets the pin from me is then gets the super magic power of my real body, because I am cursed. Tangled, cursed. That's every possession. It's like, don't drop the soap in prison, boy. My entire life, if I ever drop anything, it's poison, cursed, and I am then attacked by the low. That is just, they're trying to just, that's their crazy kidnapper, terrorist, psychotic math. Is empathetic. Is then I get my dungeon maze, the Rube Goldberg. See, I am a free. It's all this maze. So then I am lowered in the dungeon even harder. It's even harder. Crazy. So I think I've got enough for today. Mostly it's the whole burnt to a crisp Malibootay vital time. And they are counting on these M&M Mars transformers to save them, where it's really strip mining. And they poison me to strip mine even more. And because I am forced into these adverse situations, I would not drink a refill tap water bottle of Dasani with Mio energy on it. But I'm forced to. I would like to be able to, I would like to have a garden that grew my own vegetables and my own fruits, and then wake up in the morning, have fresh baked bread and pastries and then fruits and a smoothie or things like that. Me, I'm not allowed to. I gotta be fed. So therefore, they're poison. My body and the entire state is then therefore poison. got to blame the crazy, just crazy McMansions who do nothing. They're mesmerized by their own vanity of, oh, I've got a McMansion. Oh, we go to the south of France. They do not have, that sort of thing. We've got a great setup here. They've got all these great goods. They can afford their Louis Vuitton purses and their Christian Louboutin shoes and all these sorts of things. Yet they do not pay for them. And then they punish me for the uppities on the outside by locking me into the penny-handed mob here to beat me. I've got to pay for the wealth in the world, even though I am the banker of the wealthy, so I get massacred and abused, and they fill me full of holes to bleed dry so they can try to chop me into pieces. It's crazy. The wealthy are just crazy for doing nothing. It's insane. Beyond any comprehension of reality for allowing this to happen. Because I am basically poisoning, it's like I am poisoning the water supply because I cannot build walls. And then they are burnt to a crisp. Hot Playboy Malibootay out there, they are devoted Malibootay Playboys. David Kennedy, they love their party. They are burnt to a crisp. And they refuse. They've taken so much dope that they can't even. They're smoking. Tanning Mom is like Madonna, literally like Madonna these days. That's Tanning Mom there. But they have this crazy obsession with being better. It's better. Annie, get your gun. That's what it is. Annie, get your gun. Whatever you can do, I can do better. Racing, crazy, keeping up with the Joneses. Nobody's paying for the fuel and nobody's paying for the cars. That's the crazy part about it. There is no law and order at all. And it's all based upon my coerced inability to competently manage my estate and my life. Because I can't afford competent law. I'm not allowed they've got a handicap me to be pro bono solitary Lone Star. So I'm not allowed to hire good lawyers. I'm not allowed to hire good financial people. They've got to make me empathetic to their plight, and I'm proving their case being pro bono. Win-win, lose.